us. Good morning, good morning. It's great to see everybody joining us. We'll give just a moment as people are entering the room. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started in just a moment. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Virtual ILEA Equity Institute. It is great to have so many of you here with us. We will be using the chat this morning and throughout the day. So my name is Claudia Mercado. I would like to welcome you all officially to our program for today. As we are posting in the chat, if you have a moment this morning, if you could please put your name and where you are from or where you work into the chat, that would just help us to know who is in the space and to officially greet you and welcome you as well. And also, so you know who is in the space. It's always a pleasant surprise when we are in these spaces to see other people that we know as they are entering as well, and to be able to make some of those morning connections. Good morning, President. Good morning, everyone. Look at that. Okay, great. Thank you. It is I would say, pretty beautiful day here in Chicago. We never know what the weather's going to be like in the Midwest, but there is no snow. We got some sun. It's almost warm enough. So happy Friday, everyone. And thank you so much for choosing to be with us today as we go through an opportunity and experience of learning and being able to focus on this important topic as it impacts our students. And thank you for being champions in your way as well. So good morning. And look, we got people from, so excited to be able to see the mix and range of people that we have joining us as well today. So, wow, it's great to see some people we know, people coming in from other spaces. Thank you so much for joining us today. So again, my name is Claudia Mercado. I work for the Partnership for College Completion. We are so excited to be able to have everybody today to really have a deliberate day of learning and sharing of best practices on basic needs and financial security for our students in higher education. This is the first year that we have actually opened up our Equity Institute beyond 25 specific partners that we work with in the state of Illinois. And so we're really excited to be able to have a host of nonprofits that are joining us today. And actually, we have people coming from coast to coast that are joining us today. So thank you for all of those that are from Illinois, but certainly to all of those that are outside of Illinois as well, and for our other nonprofit organizations that are joining us, and also to our board and funders for joining us today. So PCC is a growing organization, and our work as we focus on closing equity gaps in higher education really needed to be shared across more organizations. But as you'll see today in the agenda, you will notice that we are highlighting a lot of what our own Illinois institutions are doing, in addition to some external work. super excited to be able to have some time, selfishly, with Sarah Goldrick-Rad today, to be able to chat with her on some different things regarding basic needs and her experiences, but then also to be able to have our funders from ECMC to be able to share some of their model in basic needs as well. So if you're not familiar with the partnership, as many of you are also coming in from other areas, PCC was launched in 2016 in the state of Illinois, specifically to be able to address disparities in college access by race and income, along with the persistent and widening racial and socioeconomic disparities that we're looking at in terms of college degree completion. As an organization, PCC, we focus on 3 core areas: college and university partnerships, public policy, and research and data. PCC is the only organization in the state that provides both support for universities and colleges, and also provides advocacy to the state and policy for higher education. So we're really excited today to be able to provide support in terms of some of our events, again, to be able to focus on today's theme of empowering students, fostering equity through basic needs, and financial support structures. So as we're going to get into that, and as you guys are all sharing, look, we got Suni here. Thank you, Suni, for coming in. We know this is already later for you as well, and we have people from California coming in. Thank you so much for joining us. I am going to put, and knowing that it is early for some people than in other places, and I already forewarned my team that I would try to restrict my randomness, but I'm going to throw out one because we are located in Chicago. So it's Friday morning. You probably had a really long week. Many of us had. You're going into the weekend. If you haven't had your coffee yet, you're doing the morning stretch. Just a question to put into the chat, because it's Chicago. We are Chicago based. We are really big into our hot dogs. You probably have had an experience with the Chicago hot dog, or you've heard about it someplace, maybe on a Sonic advertisement. Maybe you've been to Chicago and you know we are really serious about hot dogs. So here is the morning icebreaker for you all. Is the hot dog a sandwich? I will repeat the question for you guys. Oh, see, we already got some people in there. You know you're from the Chicago area if you're saying no to ketchup. Is the hot dog a sandwich? So this is just a morning stretch. The brain is also a muscle, because we just need a little bit of a morning stretch here. We are getting a lot of really adamant no's. Okay, and no ketchups. I'll be honest, I'm not from Chicago. I put ketchup on. It's just one of those condiments that comes in the package. I will do that. I know I'm not from here, so I'm allowed to do that. See, now we got a taco. All right, we got some Canadians. It's okay, relish all the way. Got it. Then we got team ketchup. All right, of course not. It's a hot dog. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Yep, I would add some chili and cheese onto that as well. So we are getting some, oh, now we're moving on beyond the sandwich into what we add. Okay, garden dog for me, thank you, Sudam. Yes to the ketchup. Yes, it's between buns. So as academic people, we can dispute this all day. Please feel free to, ask this to your family members if you find yourself in a quiet space. But all right, yeah, sometimes, I don't know if it's a taco or a taco. But it could be in there. So good, your brains are warming up. Thank you so much. Enjoy your coffee. We are really, the hot dog question is really popping. All right, good. I will keep using that on occasion. So today's topic, why are we sitting here on a beautiful Friday? Hopefully it's beautiful where you are as well. Hopefully maybe you're at home in some really comfortable clothes, or at work joining us for today, in talking about why basic needs and addressing the issues that are facing our students when it comes to those that are lower income. So there's a recent report that just came out this month, or actually last month, March in 2024, by Jobs for the Future, unveiling disparities, that really started talking about the connections between financial stress and dropout rates of college students. We know, for those of us that have been practitioners, those of us that work with college students or have college students in our families or are once college students, that financial stress can really limit the ability for students to be able to have higher academic achievements. It can also, financial stress can also negatively impact a student's well-being, and also can impact a student's confidence in being able to complete college. In the state of Illinois itself, according to our college scorecard data, 33% of Illinois students are actually receiving Pell. So through the Pell process are in the lower income bracket. Subsets within that, for our Black population, we have 60% of our students in the state of Illinois that are identified more as lower income in a self-reported survey, and 51% of our Latino students that are reported as lower income. So obviously this is affecting a lot of our students here within our state, but also we know this impacts students throughout the country. And we've been having considerable additional conversations throughout the country and really talking about the impact of basic needs and financial insecurities and how it impacts our college students. There are also, if you've ever looked at the Trellis survey for wellness or the Real College surveys, you will also see that there are racial and gender gaps in financial security. Our Black and our Latino students, women students, and parent students, especially women and parent students across all racial backgrounds, really do have a lot of economic struggles. Most of our students, we have found, are unable to cover a $500 emergency. That emergency can lead to a student dropping out of college. Students are struggling a lot with housing insecurities as well, especially as there's been inflation in terms of housing costs. Being able to provide and receive food. So we're seeing a lot of partnerships with institutions and being able to provide more food to students, but even some of the other basic needs in terms of being able to cover their utility costs, medical needs, and also in childcare. That's really become really difficult for students to be able to navigate through their collegiate experience as they're trying to manage all these things, and again, causing extra stressors on students. Grants and loans, many times in education, we think of our students are receiving grants and loans, such as Pell or any state assistance, that they are gonna be able to get through those financial hurdles. But sometimes even, and there's actually research that shows that even the students that are receiving grants and loans are still going through financial insecurity. And also that we are still not closing some of those financial insecurity gaps. Reasons, we still have increased college costs in many of our states. There's also some stagnation in terms of minimum wages for jobs. And then again, going back to inflation, the cost of food, we were just talking about that recently as an office, as we go grocery shopping, we see the increased cost there, and also the difficulty in being able to find affordable housing. So as we go through, there are so many different things that our students are experiencing beyond what's actually happening in the classroom. So many times we would attribute the fact that our students maybe are not paying attention, arriving late, arriving without having their coursework done or assignments done, that it may be on part of the student. But there's so many other things that are happening in our students' lives that is important for us to be able to recognize the fact that our students are maybe struggling through hunger. Maybe they didn't have a place to live. Certainly through COVID, we realized the technical limitations that our students still experienced, and the fact that most of them didn't even have computers or anything to be able to work on. So how can we address those, which today you'll be able to hear quite a bit of from our sessions on how we have different programs that are actually supporting students through some of these financial hurdles, through specific academic programs, through technology supports, through other ways of being able to help students get through the difficulties of being able to provide in housing and being able to focus on their academics. So we are super excited and grateful to all of the partners and institutions that have come forward to be able to share what they do as best practices, so that if any of those things are applicable to your experiences or your work area, that this is something that you'll be able to take back. We do also know that it is important to be able to cultivate a campus and an institution that has a culture of care for our students. this really, again, goes to what is happening in the classroom, but from that very first moment that we engage with students, how can we be better at providing them with the supports they need to be able to get to that point of being able to achieve at their highest level. So again, very excited to be able to have all of you participate. You will see from, and Mercedes is going to get to in just a moment, the different agenda items. But this is an important topic that, again, we know that is being covered throughout the country more. And we are just grateful to be able to have people sharing out their best practices in a day of learning today. As we're coming here from Chicago and we're having presenters throughout different places. So with that, and early Mercedes, I would just like to note, I am actually the team here at PCC. But before I do so, because I do at least have people here in this space, an event like today does take a lot of commitment and a lot of time from a dedicated team. And Mercedes has been leading that for us here at PCC. So publicly, I just wanted to say thank you, Mercedes, for all the hard work that you've done. Also to our communications team and the rest of the people here at PCC who've been able to pull this together, but especially also for those that have made the time to commit to be able to share their best practices with everybody here today. So with that, Mercedes, I'm giving you some extra time there, and hopefully people will be able to have a stretch break as well. I'm going to turn it over to Mercedes. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We are definitely excited that you're here joining us virtually. We are excited to have an opportunity to engage with all of you. Again, my name is Mercedes Terrazas. I'm the Equity Program Manager here at the Partnership for College Completion. And it was nice to see some folks that are coming into the space that I actually know or interacted with and or engaged at some point, which is nice. And then other people that we are going to meet you for the first time. So we're excited for that as well. This year's theme, as Dr. Claudia mentioned, is focused on for students and really focus on empowering students and fostering equity through basic needs and financial support structures. And again, this agenda is really ambitious for this virtual one-day event, but we're pretty excited about it and the speakers. So we're going to move on to the actual agenda. Onto the next piece of it. So here, again, you all have joined us virtually, but I want you to know two different ways you can access this agenda. One way is through the PDF document that I've sent a couple of days ago and also this morning, and we can also add it here in the chat for your convenience as well. Again, and these links are active, so in a couple minutes, we will conclude this session and we will move into concurrent sessions. There's 3 concurrent sessions that go pretty back to back. So the next one will start at 9:20 to 10, and you have the opportunity to join one of the 2 concurrent sessions. And I know that for many of us, we're like, which one are we going to join? We want to do, join both. The good thing is that all the sessions will be recorded today. So you will all have access to these recordings when we follow up with all of you via email in the next 2 weeks. So feel free to join what you would like to join, and you will have the opportunity to have the recordings post-event. And again, we're moving from 9:20 to 10, and then there will be a very brief break. Then we'll go to the next concurrent session that's from 10:10 to 10:50. Again, the Zoom links here are active that you have in your PDF document, and also you can join via the Whova platform. They're both spaces that you can join the agenda and don't join the event. I do encourage you to also partake in the conversations and networking and engagement in the Whova platform. There's been a lot of engagement already. And during these sessions, depending if there's time, we will have Q&A, but feel free to also take your questions to the community board, and the presenters can engage with you and speak to you throughout the event, but also post-event as well, as all of you will have access to the Whova platform for at least a month. So feel free to connect and collaborate and network throughout the day. So then we continue on for the next piece of the agenda. So again, we continue on with some concurrent sessions. The next ones will be from 11 to 11:30. And this opportunity, again, I know it's difficult to figure out which one you may want to join, but you have the opportunity to join one of the sessions. And again, the other ones will be, all of them will be recorded. The next piece of the agenda from 11:30 to 12, there's a lunch break. Feel free to still bring, if you're not done with your lunch by 12, feel free to bring it as well, because we're still going to be joining and connecting at 12 from 12 to 1 with the fireside chat with Dr. Sarah Goldrick-Rapp, which is, Dr. Sarah is a leader and expert on basic needs. So want to make sure that you are on time and ready to join at 12. And like I said, feel free to bring your lunch if you're not done by then. The next piece of the agenda is we will have the ECMC Foundation talk about the Basic Needs Initiative, which is really centered on a lot of the work and the conversations that we will have here today. And Identity will be speaking about that great initiative, and that will be from 1:10 to 1:50. So feel free to also join us for that as well. And again, at any time in this agenda, if we go over it just in terms of so much conversation and you may not have time to ask your questions, feel free to engage the presenters directly, but also post-event and also through the Google platform. The next piece of the agenda, we continue to move into the 2 to 3 p.m., which was be the last concurrent session. And during this time, you will have the opportunity again to join one of the concurrent sessions, and that will be from 2 to 2:40. And after that, at 2:40, we will do our closing. The PCC staff will do their closing in one of the sessions that you will be a part of, and we'll just give some reminders and conversation post-event. And we'll bring all of this conversation that we've had throughout the day together to a close. So again, I want to make sure that you take the time to look at the agenda. There's so many great sessions. I know it's going to be difficult choosing which one to join, but again, all the sessions will be recorded. And then I wanted to mention the next piece again. I do want to take a couple minutes to just talk about, like Dr. Claudia mentioned in her welcome, how important it is that we have this space today to talk about how to better support students. What are we doing in our institutions and our communities to really engage and talk about how to better support students holistically, right? We do know that students are a part of our communities, a part of our institutions, and they're there to learn, but they're also holistic beings, right? And people that have different responsibilities and connections and identities. And at different times, right, some identities are more salient than others. So it's very important for us as educators, as higher education professionals, as practitioners, as community advocates, right, depending how you identify yourself, right, that we think about how to better support students and really think about it in a holistic and strategic way, right? So we really thought that it was a timely theme for us to talk about how to empower students, how to be more focused on equity around basic needs, security, and financial support structures. So again, this is a really ambitious agenda, great presenters, and we encourage you to take the time to figure out which one you want to join and connect with us throughout the day. We're so excited that you're here. And then we will the next slide is just talking about how we will conclude this session in a couple minutes. And we will move into one of the concurrent sessions. Again, thank you for joining us. Welcome to our 2024 Virtual ILEA Equity Institute. And we're so excited that you all are here. So we will be concluding the session in a minute or so, and we will move into the concurrent sessions. So again, feel free to go get a coffee real quick or a quick bathroom break, and then come back and join us at 9:20 for the concurrent sessions. And thank you, everyone.